On a cold, rainy evening on the banks of the river in downtown Knoxville, Tennessee, two workers, Carlos Guzman and Dwayne Sweat, alerted the people of the city to continuing problems on one of the city's most significant public projects. In protest against the unsafe working conditions, lack of training, bad treatment, and low wages, these two employees of Britain Bridge Company, the contractor in charge of the Henley Street Bridge reconstruction project, have given formal notice to the company that they are on strike until their concerns about safety, labor practices, and wages have been addressed. Guzman and Sweat have filed a charge of unfair labor practices with the National Labor Relations Board. The news conference was organized by Bridges to Justice, a community, labor, and faith alliance fighting for worker justice on Tennessee bridge construction projects and other public infrastructure programs. Founding members are Jobs with Justice of East Tennessee, Interfaith Worker Justice of East Tennessee, Laborers Local 818, and Ironworkers Local 384. Bridges to Justice was organized in the wake of the tragic deaths of 4 workers on various construction projects managed by Britain Bridge. Its affiliates are subcontractors. The news conference you see here drew support from numerous churches, community groups, trade unions, and students. At the end of the video, information will be available about how to support the work of Bridges to Justice.
People. We gather as a people seeking and needing your guidance in all areas of life, private and public, personal and social. Lead your people forth, O God. Lead all your people forth. Lead us forth in your will and way, which would further enhance all your people. In your love-filled, grace-filled name we pray.
I learned that on the picket line with my parents, each time they went on strike as a teacher and then as a musician. I learned it in college when our janitors were outsourced. I learned it last fall when the Knox County school custodians stood up to save their jobs. And I learned it again now by hearing this story. I care about what happens with our public dollars and how they're spent, because they're spent in our name and they were hard to come by. But enough about me. We are here today because of 2 courageous construction workers. Dwayne Sweat and Carlos Guzman are standing up for themselves and their co-workers. They have taken the serious action of going on strike against their employer, Britain Bridge Company. The contractor in charge of the multi-million-dollar Henley Street Bridge reconstruction project, funded and overseen by the Tennessee Department of Transportation, because their concerns about safety, labor practices, and wages, conditions that affect not just themselves but all Britain Bridge employees, have not been addressed. How did they get here? This is a continuing saga. 4 workers have died on various construction projects in Tennessee managed by Britain Bridge or its affiliates or subcontractors since November 2010. Their names are Renee Mendez, John Womack, Solene Estrada Jimenez, and Abimael Contreras. That is unacceptable and disgusting. And it happened in our name. After the second death in Knoxville in 2011, a group came together called Bridges for Justice to respond to the lack of serious investigative coverage by the media, the inadequate response from government agencies, including TDOT, and the excuses of the contractor, Britain Bridge. Serious safety shortfalls and violations were found by the Tennessee Occupational Safety and Health Administration in each of these deaths. We stood together in January to call on employers, politicians, and public agencies to make 2012 a safe year for all Tennessee workers. Bridges to Justice delegations met with TDOT officials in Nashville to suggest better ways to assure that a real culture of safety is built and maintained on TDOT projects. TDOT adopted several concrete measures aimed at improving safety on TDOT jobs. This is important headway in the right direction. And yet dangerous, even deadly conditions persist, or we would not be here today standing with these two brave men. Will companies like these who receive taxpayer money, who are supposed to be required to enforce decent standards set by our state agency, be allowed to continue to keep killing workers?
No.
To cut corners and govern their workplaces by fear?
No.
Will the Tennessee Department of Transportation contribute to a safety second culture by consistently giving priority to schedule over safety? More importantly, will we as a community respond to demand a real culture of safety, responsibility, and quality?
You bet!
Our other choice is to stand by while the lowest bidder wins and our friends and neighbors continue to risk their lives to work jobs that build the bridges we use. Do all workers, regardless of race, gender, or immigration status, have a right to a safe working environment and dignity on the job?
Yes!
Thank you. Let's hear from Dwayne Sweat, one of the Britain Bridge employees who filed a charge of unfair labor practices with the National Labor Relations.
I don't even know how to use a microphone. Like I said, I'm just a construction worker. I'm just trying to make a living for my family. We love to fish and play outdoors and have fun. Just an average guy. Just trying to make a living. I was raised to work hard and put everything I've got into the job, and so is Carlos Guzman. He's the same. I would have to say the same for him. We're good friends, and I speak up for him too. He's a family man. He's got a beautiful little baby. It's our families that we're concerned about, and the families of the rest of the men that are out there on the bridges, working as well. Just take it from me and Carlos, guys that have worked on the bridge. The pace that they're pushing guys to get this bridge done I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen anything like it. It's definitely production over safety, and I could sit here and I could give you instances and descriptions of and details about all the little stuff that's happened, and the big things that's happened, while I've been out there. I could give you those descriptions and I could tell you about them, but that would take quite some time. I'd have to let everybody know everything I know about construction and, explain to you what all the tools are and, that kind of thing. So that takes a lot of time. But, take it from a guy that works out there and knows. I'm telling you, it's bad out there. It's bad out there and it's dangerous. Now, we know it's obviously going to be dangerous working on a bridge. I'm not saying that it's just the dangerous it's supposed to be. I'm saying it's extra dangerous because of the way they're pushing their workers out there. Safety is out the door. Safety is out the door. And anything that I have been told about safety from Britain Bridge has just been for show. It's just been talk. It hasn't been backed up. Yeah, it's just, and I want to thank everybody that's being supportive, of us, because, I don't know what we would do without you guys. We're trying to make a difference. We're trying to speak up and let our voices be heard, and we're trying to make a difference in this thing. And we can't do it by ourselves. We need help from everybody. And as a community, we all need to work together and do something about this. So thank you.
We hope you will be inviting Dwayne and Carlos to come to your churches, neighborhood associations, government forums, clubs, and businesses to tell their story. This is a story every citizen of Knoxville and Knox County should hear, and then demand immediate corrective action by TDOT and Britain Bridge. sign up on. Is that correct? There's some lists around to sign up so that you can receive regular updates. And as a representative of Interfaith Worker Justice, I again want to thank you for coming out tonight and would like to invite all of you to join in a moment of remembrance and prayer. From all the faith traditions represented here, as well as from those who claim no faith, we ask you to hold close the memory of the bridge workers who have given their lives to this and other Britain Bridge projects, and I ask you to please repeat after me their names. Renee Mendez.
Renee Mendez.
John Womack.
John Womack.
Celine Estrada Jimenez.
Celine Estrada Jimenez.
And Abimael Contreras. We also ask you to hold close the concerns of these two men who have chosen not to remain silent in the face of continuing danger to themselves and their fellow workers, Dwayne Sweat and Carlos Guzman. May they know, and may we all know, the deep peace that comes from speaking the truth and doing what is right, even when it would be simpler to turn away. May we have the courage of the Spirit in this struggle together.